See the policeman standing on the corner. His gun's all ready for the draw. He sees bad times, I see good times. Come to Melbourne City, it's civil war.
We're shutting down the stock exchange today because it's a symbol of corporate greed and exploitation, and because every corporation that you care to name that destroys the environment or has a blatant disregard for workers' rights is listed up there on the stock exchange. This is what people are protesting today. But they're also protesting against the craziness of a system where on the one hand you have 1.2 billion people living in extreme poverty, and on the other hand you have CEOs of companies like Rio Tinto who are earning $2.4 million a year. So it might be that you're protesting against McDonald's and the fact that it cuts down rainforests in the Amazon, or it might be protesting against Nike and the fact that it pays its workers in Indonesia less than $2 a day, or it might be the fact that you're protesting against BHP, who is destroying the environment in Papua New Guinea with its Ok Tedi mine.
Human need, not corporate greed. Cancel third world debt.
I'm here because I've got a 2-year-old daughter and I want her brought up in a world where everyone's got enough money to live on and enough resources, free education, free public transport, free health services. We do have the resources for all those things in this world. It's only a matter of the redistribution of wealth from the Bill Gates of this world to the people like us.
Human need no corporate greed. Shut the exchange down. Human need no corporate greed. Shut the exchange down.
So we're having a pretty lively protest here, and we're protesting against the tyranny that this mob here, the stock exchange, causes every day by sucking money out of people and using it so that they can live high on the hog.
Third world debt, no way. Make the corporations pay.
Today there are 8 demonstrations taking place in cities around Australia.
The main protest is to block the stock exchange, not to let anyone in, not to let anybody out. They're basically closing down corporate Sydney for the day.
Globalised capitalism really needs a brake put on it. I mean, the idea that everything just has a monetary value without taking into account social justice and environmental issues is nuts.
Third world debt has been repaid many times over.
I'm not anti-globalisation. I'm for the globalisation of human rights and human creativity and human activity, but not of human oppression and exploitation.
Go through the media. We need to get in there. That way that'll force the police.
The thing that is really significant about what has happened since Seattle is that you've got a growing layer of people around the world who actually see capitalism as the problem.
They're nasty little properties, as nasty as can be. They want us to eat Vegemite for breakfast, lunch and tea. They're piling up the overtime, they're cutting down the trees because our wage is not enough. Don't they know that times are tough, we can't survive on Vegemite.
Globalisation isn't necessarily a particularly new thing. I mean, if you think of colonial imperialism in the 19th century, that was a form of globalisation.
Who pays tax now? It's not multinational corporations. It's the worker.
Their wealth, their living standards is based on centuries and centuries of exploitation.
you've got the people at the top of society wanting to push in a particular direction, and you're getting a reaction by people, ordinary people at the bottom of society, who are going in the opposite direction.
People are gathering on May Day, people from the first world in the very belly of the beast who say this is not good enough and we want a different system.
And the reason I've come here is to protest against the environmental destruction that's being caused by the sort of profit-greedy companies that are represented by the stock exchange. I'm here to protest the disgustingly high super profits that these companies are making while so many areas of Australia are really, really crippled by poverty. I'm here to protest the fact that while CEOs in New Zealand and Australia vote themselves, huge pay increases, they tell the rest of us we can't even have decent wages. I'm here to protest the fact that the Aboriginal death rate in police jails and in custody in Australia is just a shockingly and unspeakably high level. I'm here to protest thousands of other things, the sexism and the racism of the Howard government, and the way that basically they're doing all they can to make them richer and the rest of our lives worse off.
The stock exchange. This is the heart and soul of corporate Melbourne, and that's why they're getting shut down today.
Capitalism is rampant and ravaging the third world. So I'm here to demand things like repeal the third world debt, boycott the World Trade Organization new round at Qatar.
We feel that corporations have too much power and they're totally fucked.
I just think corporations are getting away with blue murder. Corporations think that they can destroy the environment, they think that they can cut workers' wages, deunionise workforces, give people no say.
I'm here to stand up for people, for workers' rights, for human rights, and for environmental rights.
Someone in, someone out, shut the building down! Someone in, someone out, shut the building down! The wealth is with the world's elite! Wealth is with the world's elite! The people power's in the streets! People power's in the streets!
The movement defines globalisation as the increasing power and control that the big corporations, both industrial and financial, have over the world's economy.
Globalisation as such is not necessarily a bad thing. The left have argued for years that we should have international solidarity without working people. But globalisation as it is being presented maybe is corporate globalisation. That is, it is being used for the employers, the multinationals, the transnationals and the very powerful to benefit the very few at the detriment of the vast majority.
It's something actually that capitalism has done from the very beginning, and that is to seek out across the world where investment can be made, where resources and labour can be exploited.
Globalisation is undermining every value that most people hold dear. It's undermining notions of environmental sustainability, as is proved by their unwillingness to act in any way on climate change. It undermines notions of human rights, as we see in many countries of the world where corporations are up to their eyeballs in violating human rights or paying local armies to violate human rights. It undermines labour standards by pitting workers in one country against workers in another. Most importantly, it undermines any concept of democracy. Already, democracy under capitalism is an illusion. Well, this illusion is becoming even more thin and even more porous.
You see internationally companies looking for where they'll find the cheapest labour and also where they'll find workforces that they perceive to be able to be put under most pressure in terms of not organising as workers against what is often extraordinarily exploitative conditions.
The opportunity for them to exploit workers and communities in third world countries have been actually used to try and